I'm proud to be from South Windsor. When I read the local news from the Reminder, it says that they did a Eat Dinner with Your Children Day and provided food and games. And the whole idea is that you're a family. Why not act like one instead of acting like, oh, I gotta get the kids to their after school specials, I gotta get them to their tutors, I gotta deal with them, I've got work in the afternoon, I've got other arrangements that need to be done. Family should not be an obligation. Family should be a joy. You chose to get married or not, you chose to have kids, and because of those choices, you should treat your time together with respect and with love. So I am happy about this. And while my family didn't always play games, every once in a blue moon we played Othello, a game with moving pieces and flipping them between black and white, kind of like checkers but not. And we played Monopoly, the game that never ends. I recently bought games that I played with my friends, and I tried to play with my family, but they kind of took it too literally, like Apples to Apples, where my friends and I try to play it for fun, and they try to play it for what actually makes sense. And it's a little difficult to deal with that sometimes, but it's still fun. So I hope people learn from this in other districts that they can do it too. Make sure that you have fun with your family. Family's all you got. It looks like Bank of America came through for Winchester schools, saying that they would loan them $2.5 million to tide them over. Thank you, Bank of America. I really don't want to talk anymore about SAT. I hope that Canton can raise their scores. I still don't think that we should be teaching to the test. A lot of towns in articles that I've reviewed lately are talking about communities and getting together as a community. In this video alone, I talk about South Windsor and their initiative for dinners as a family. And they did it as a community to show how families can interact at the dinner table. So why is it that Canton is suggesting charging for the use of their fields and other things for non-school related things? The town should be able to provide for these things. If it's not the community center, then it's the school. And that's just how I see it. So, Canton, please don't consider the $35 an hour fee and let people use your fields. Yes, it's a drain on the power for the electricity if you have lights over your fields, but you're still going to have to get landscaping. You're still going to have to have it there. It's there no matter what. And you're paying taxes. I get it. But the district is helping out. So knock it off, please. I believe I've mentioned that I worked at the Vernon Public Schools. And while working there, I became PMT trained. PMT stands for Physical or Psychological Management Training. This is the PC term for what this article refers to as restraint. Now, a restraint is any mechanical or personal restriction that immobilizes or reduces the movement of a person's arms, legs, or head. And that's the true definition. But In working in schools, have seen that the use of this is kind of subjective, and when it's subjective, issues can arise. DCF can get called, parents can become aware and very upset, even students can be upset. And the main use that I saw was in emotionally and behaviorally disturbed youths who were posing a threat to themselves or others. And when I worked with students on the autism spectrum, this was seen as a bad idea because a lot of the ones on the lower end of the autism spectrum are nonverbal. So if they're nonverbal, their way of communicating with the speech pathologist is learned sign language. I know a few signs still, but if you restrict or restrain their motion with hands or legs, that could restrain their ability to communicate effectively if they choose to use that. And it's a very fine line if you want to stop them from hurting or if you want them to be able to communicate effectively. So, looking at all aspects, I hope that Enfield can get a system like PMT and use a good definition and know how to use it and when to use it, and have that ingrained in all personnel who are in the school systems. The town of Wethersfield is right. They need a full-time security director, and funds were allocated for this. Fear is not good. We don't want terrorism, so forget about Sandy Hook and forget about other things like that, Virginia Tech, whatever. Just remember that there is a need for it, and if funds were allocated for it, why isn't the position filled? Last but not least, I want to mention the Newtown Run in the Hartford Marathon. And I thought that this article was stupendous, especially because of the runner Michael Barrady. And I need to quote it for you. So here is something that he said. "My kids don't need therapy anymore. My kids sleep in their own bed. My kid is now a leader in school. I cannot allow any of these kids in Newtown to say they did not reach their potential or their life goal in life because they were from here or because this happened. We need to give them opportunities to excel in life, because that means this person took more kids from us, and that's unacceptable." For somebody to say it's unacceptable is really important to me. And for somebody to say that kids need to reach their potential, no matter what their background, is also important to me. I come from a home, yeah, it's loving, yeah, I had a lot of opportunities, but my mother is bipolar, and that did make life a little difficult growing up. And my a little over-controlling father, and my sister who saw fit to try and raise me, although I rebelled against that because she's only 3.5 years older than me. So the dynamic is a lot different from Newtown, but the ideas are the same. No matter where you live, you need the opportunity to grow and thrive. Not just survive, but thrive. Thanks for listening, and please put your comments below and subscribe.